Now, as I've been highlighting since early this year, this recovery in the housing market, it's not driven by the owner-occupiers deciding to do buying and then maybe selling. It's not being driven by the investors, certainly not being driven by overseas buyers, a bit of a problem ever since 2018 legislation change. Hello again, everybody. This week, I don't really have any new numbers to report on. If I recall rightly, last week or last monthly video, I discussed some of the results from my survey of real estate agents, basically showing FOMO has gone up even further. FOOP, or fear of overpaying, has gone down. Record proportion of agents saying they're seeing more people, young buyers in the market there. Lots of people showing up at the open homes and auctions as well. So I think I've already covered that, but what I thought I'd do just this week is very quickly have a run through a list of reasons as to why the property market has been recovering since early this year, why sales and seasonally adjusted terms have increased about 15 to 20% over the past 3 to 4 months, and prices have started to go up as well. Now, as I've been highlighting since early this year, this recovery in the housing market, it's not driven by the owner-occupiers deciding to do buying and then maybe selling. It's not being driven by the investors, certainly not being driven by overseas buyers, a bit of a problem ever since 2018 legislation change. But basically, it's being driven by the first home buyers seeing an opportunity to get into the market without a lot of competition out there. They've been encouraged to get in by some recent easing of the credit rules, and also some good schemes available for boosting your deposit with help from the government There's a feeling that interest rates have likely peaked. Some of us have been in that boat for about 12 months so far and yet to get it right. Hopefully this time interest rates have actually peaked, and the chances that that is correct are actually increasing for a non-positive reason. As I might have mentioned previously, the fall in international commodity prices is crimping farmer income, and we have an El Nino weather pattern starting to set in, which means drought, if it really gets going, around the country. And that, of course, is going to lead eventually to a lot of weakness in the economy and interest rates falling at some very uncertain speed over 2024. Other reasons why the young buyers are getting into the market, the prices, of course, are down on average about 17% from where they were late in 2021. They started falling back then once we hit the mother of all credit crunches. Also, rents, of course, have been increasing this whole period of time, so there's a push factor driving people to have a look at home ownership. There's still very good job security out there, and wages growth has been on average outpacing growth in the cost of living, so ability of people to purchase a home has also improved. Big problem, of course, is that with the bank test interest rates at 9% or even more for some, there's a whole group of young people who want to buy but simply can't make a purchase at the moment because they can't meet the debt servicing requirements of their lender with those test interest rates being so high. A few other reasons, we've also got the number of listings up considerably higher, around about 25,000 than was the case in 2021 when the number of listings was below 14,000. But that brings me to, I guess, 2 or 3 new things which I think are starting to play out there in the market at the moment. One is I think there's increasing awareness that listings are falling. I could see from my survey of real estate agents that buyers are becoming more concerned about the availability of listings. So that's a very recent development. Wasn't here early this year as a motivating factor, but it's certainly starting to kick in now. Secondly, I think there's a far higher awareness of the migration boom into New Zealand and what that means in terms of, first of all, the rental market out there, and then later on the home purchase ownership market. And third, of course, we have the political opinion polls suggesting a good chance, let's say reasonable chance, of a change in government on October 14, and then a slow change back to the investor tax legislation, which will start to bring some investors in the market as well. And I do think there's some element of a few young buyers looking to accelerate their purchase in case we do get a change in government in a few weeks' time in New Zealand. So we'll just have to judge that one when it happens and see what does happen with the legislation afterwards. But basically there is upward momentum still in the housing market. I think we can identify some good solid reasons why this is happening, and even though the economy is still going to remain pretty challenged over the next 12-15 months, with prospects of interest rates falling in 2024 at completely uncertain speed, I do expect this upward momentum will continue through 2024 and probably become even stronger eventually in 2025. All the best out there.